Hey, everybody. Welcome to Apres Moto here in the Whiskey Throttle studios. We are going to be going over everything we saw at Birmingham, and there was a lot. So let's get it cracking. I'm going to start off by saying that was some really fun racing, especially in that 250 class. If you guys didn't enjoy that, you're not real fans of the sport. But there was also some really interesting peaks into the future with the young kids that raced. And also, we're starting to see the 450 championship really take kind of shape of who the players are and what's probably how this is going to play out, if you know what I mean. So let me get this thing clicking so I can get some comments for any of you guys who are club members, Whiskey Throttle Club members. Thank you guys for joining, and you can call in. We should have sent you the number. If you don't have it, just DM us on our Instagram page and we'll send you the number. Obviously, after we confirm you are a HCR is back. Great. Once we confirm you're a member, we will send you the phone number, and feel free to call in anytime. And if you're not a member, go to WhiskeyThrottleClub.com and sign up. You get all kinds of cool stuff in there. Our code red we just did with Sean Palmer, which was a blast. I think we went almost 2 hours, which we've never had a code red that long, but we just had a lot to chat about, and we're still going to do a Whiskey Throttle show with him, probably down the road here a little bit. He'll be back. We had a blast having him down. He stayed here for like a week, and he, like, my kids were calling him Uncle Palm by the end of the week. They just, everybody, it's hard not to like the guy if you know him. So what's up, guys? Nick Gilland, Dorian, I'm going to mess this up. Dorian Gable, Jorge Carlos from Athens, Greece. Thanks for tuning in, man. Stoked to have you guys here. You can go to WhiskeyThrottleClub.com and sign up. It's $5 a month. We're adding more and more discount codes in there to save you guys money, get that $5 back, then some, but also really cool content. If you haven't gone through the Elevate catalog of our training videos on there, there's awesome stuff. I'm telling you, all of Rhino's kind of foundational 10 videos that he starts all of his classes with, which I'll be real honest, I took a lot from it because there's some great stuff in there. Anyway, check that stuff out. Jimmy Dean says, how come only some of the remnants show up on Apple Podcasts? I don't know. Good question for our guy. Ethan, as per usual, has no clue. We'll check into it, though. Thank you for telling us. You can watch them on YouTube, so I know they're on there, but we'll look into that. I don't know why. And the Average Fish guy from Vancouver, welcome. El Jefe, keeping me going. Okay, let's kick off here with the, what do we call it? Is it the Next? Futures? SMX Next? The kids. I was really excited for this race because I've been watching Landon Gordon, who set the fastest lap time of the day, who's a great kid, great family. I'm quietly rooting for those guys, but a lot of the guys on here too. I mean, Ryder Malinowski's awesome, Kate Johnson's awesome, Vincent Way. But I really wanted to see a battle between kind of all those top kids. I want to see them all get off the gate together and fight, like have a battle, and because you really can tell who thrives and who doesn't when the pressure gets really cooking like that. And we just didn't get it. The 2-star Yamaha guys went down in the first turn. I hope they're okay. They went down hard, pretty much ended their night. So Caden Manier and Landon Gordon. So I hope those guys are all right, but it definitely changed the complexion of the race. Vincent Way got off to a clean start and he was gone. And I actually watched him last week. We're out at Fox shooting some other stuff with B-Ray and hanging out with some of the Toyota of Redlands guys. And Vincent was out there, and this is his home track. I mean, his dad kind of runs the place at this point, and he probably rides there a lot. But, dude, he looked like a seasoned vet. He was running with those pro guys, no problem, like running their pace, hitting the obstacles clean every lap, fast in the whoops. I mean, I told Nick, I said, wow, man, he's like really coming along. He looked really good. And so to see him do what he did, not a big surprise. But his improvement in the last 6 months has been wild. So Vincent Way is on the move. He'll be probably at Mitch's here before too long. Kate Johnson, really stoked with him too. Just an awesome kid, but he kind of had the speed, but keeps making mistakes. And I was pumped to see him just run a solid main event, no big crashes, got it on the box. It's a great job for him. He's going to earn himself a spot somewhere because he deserves it. He's super fast. Kid's all heart. Malinowski did well. And then you got Fapani was fourth, Deno, Gibson, Cole Timbo, Betts, Kiefer, and Fitch were your top 10. And like I said, no huge surprises, but I would like to have seen the couple of star boys in there and see how all those guys battled. So maybe the next one we'll get it. Let's move into the 250 stuff. Well, let's see if there's any questions there. Greeting from the UK, GPX 111. Hey, thanks for stopping in, man. Ricky Carmichael, Road to Futures class. Even he doesn't know what to call it. Yeah, I know. Hey, I wonder what you guys thought of the broadcast. Ricky always takes so much heat, and I feel bad because he, I love Ricky. He and I have a long-standing relationship, and but some of the criticism is like you kind of go, well, but everyone's like, we got to get rid of Diffie and Carmichael and put these guys in. So then you got Weege and Stewart, and I think James, probably of all of the color guys I've heard, let's make sure we're all hearing me correctly. I think he offers the most. Like, he'll give you insight that I don't hear out of Ricky. I didn't hear out of Jeff. A lot of the past color commentary guys, he's very insightful, and he can tell you things that, like, even I go, oh, damn, that was really interesting. Like somebody who's done it, he'll say things and I'm like, wow, that was cool. But I can't understand his language. At one point he said, what did he say? I wrote it down. Oh, that's going to play dividends. Talking about something. Oh, it was when Deegan, cut the little thing, which we'll talk about later, his track cutting excursion. It was not a hard R, Niall. You're hearing me wrong. He said that's going to play dividends. And I was like, nope, it's pay dividends. But that's okay. He says frustrated, which is frustrated and flustered, kind of mushed into one, but that's not a word. So maybe I just need to learn the language, and I'll be okay. But it seems like a drinking game ready to be made to me. However, what do you guys think? Better than the standard, the typical crew in there, or what do you think? With what Evan Ferry thinking with Pierce in the heat race? That's Nick Gallant. Nick, I think he was just that was a last transfer position, man. It was like, might as well go for it. And obviously the standard rule, if you go to take someone out and you go down too, it was a mistake. I think he knows it was a mistake, but at the same time, he wasn't in the main either way, had to go to the LCQ. So why not take a shot? CBH says Little Way looked like he's ready. Can he do another year of SMX next? I'm not sure what AMA changes these rules, how these guys qualify, how long they can stay. I don't know. I don't know how much longer he has. I'm telling you, he does look ready, and he's physically kind of grown into being from a little boy to kind of getting to be a man. It wouldn't surprise me to see him jump in later this summer and do some nationals with Mitch. He gets the Beast MX Radish is tired of Weege yelling at everything. He does get a little excited. Anyway, I don't know what his plan is for the combines and then stepping into something, but Nick has such a good relationship with Mitch. Vincent's been on a Cowie on pro circuit stuff since day one, kind of being groomed to fall into that role. And if Mitch's history is any indication, he will have some injured riders probably later in the summer, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him jump in and get in there. Okay, let's move to the 250 class. I don't think any huge shockers. I mean, if you guys got questions, drop them in here. But to me, this kind of played out the way I thought it would. Hayden Deegan crushed it. We get people on here saying that we glaze Hayden Deegan all the time. It's like, well, he's just pretty impressive. So I don't know if we glaze him. We give him a lot of coverage because he kind of deserves it. And I don't normally go around being a Deegan apologist, but I think he got hosed on this AMA ruling. Fine him. I don't know, do something. That little track cutting, air quotes, didn't win or lose him that race. I mean, he destroyed these guys. And anyway, we'll get to that later. We'll talk about this penalty. But the one thing that I thought, just looking at the main event, was Cole Davies had this race. I mean, he lost this race. He has been plenty fast enough to hold Deegan off, especially with Hayden being deep in the back. The fact that he kind of came unraveled, it just shows you, and I've talked about this before, how difficult it is to just push Hayden out of your mind and not pay attention to him. Because one, he's fast. He was probably closing on Cole. Cole seeing that, he gets flustered. He tries too hard. He starts making mistakes, and you could just see him come unwound. And Deegan's done this to everybody. Everyone on the West, he's emotionally just destroyed. And it's like, I think he wanted to show everybody on the East the same thing, like just do the same thing to him. And really the only guy I think he was probably concerned with was Davies, because he's shown so much speed. Those guys obviously ride together quite a bit at the farm, and he did it pretty clean, and really didn't leave any question there. Dorian says, I think Davies is flustered, if we use Bubba's words, by Deegan now after he got taken out. Yeah, maybe. I just think he flat out didn't have the Deegan, just had him in speed, and it's frustrating when you were just doing everything you can do and a guy's just closing on you, lap after lap after lap, and it's like he was in traffic closing on Cole. It's hard not to get frustrated and go, okay, I gotta try harder this lap, and then you try harder, you actually make more mistakes. He was just in his head. He melted him down. He does this to guys. He does it with his chirping, his tweets. It's just all of it, right? And then on the track, he actually delivers. And the culmination is he just gets in your head. It's kind of fun to watch, actually. Max Anstey coming back from his appendix didn't do too bad. Just needs another week or two getting back to fitness. As an Englishman, I'd love to see him jump on a Triumph. Hey, that's interesting. And think about that. You're right. We need to keep Joe on a Japanese bike, and we need to get Max over to Triumph. I think that'd be a good fit. And it seems like with the post that Jalik Swoll made this week, which was a bummer, he got hurt somewhere. We didn't really get to see what happened, but he kind of in his little cryptic tweet or post or whatever made it sound like he might be done. Like he's definitely done for the year. And he kind of just said, if that's all my career ends up being, I'm happy with it. It's kind of like, oh man, he could just be frustrated and speaking out of turn. But anyway, hope he heals up. Don't know what exactly happened. There was a couple odd injuries. AP in the 450 class, he didn't see the crash. He just pulls his boot off and limps, but still walking on his foot and limping in. The only reason I could think to pull your boot off is maybe you thought you broke it and you want to get your boot off before it swells. The other school of thought is leave your boot on. We can always cut that off. It'll contain it so it doesn't swell so bad if something is broken. I don't know what the heck happened, but that was super strange. Hope he's okay. Hope it's not anything bad. It's been a tough year for AP. All right, what else we got here? We have the timing deal. Take how much time they saved cutting the track, double it, and that's penalty. I would go for something like that. In this case, right? Here's the thing about this track cutting. I mean, it's not like he cut inside of hay bales or he jumped across the track, or you've got these little flimsy plastic stakes that guys run over all day long at the Nationals. If you've been to a National, you've seen them literally running just like running down them in a straightaway, coming into a turn to get around bumps. It isn't like you absolutely can't touch this or you've cut the track. That's not how they've been sort of trained with these little plastic stakes. They run them over all the time. So in the turns at the Nationals, you'll see, I forget what they call it. They have a name for it, but it's like a big plastic bent piece so that they can't hit it. If they hit it, they're going to crash. And that's to kind of mark the inside of the turn to make sure they aren't cutting, because if they just put those little stakes, guys are, again, running right over them or cutting inside of them. I just think it was a bad move, kind of like having red pre-flashlights or whatever the hell they call them. What do they call them? Lead-in lights. Red flashing lead-in lights to something that could be happening. Anyway, just poor execution on the part of either the track builders or the AMA to say, like, either make that edge where the two lanes split, take the tractor and dig a little wall there. So like, you can't just ride up, make it a vertical edge. That way, if you hit it, you're going to crash. That would keep guys from crossing it, right? You can't have it flat and be crossable and just have a couple little plastic stakes and think guys aren't going to, it wasn't like he was trying to cheat at the last minute. I think it was Volan in front of him darted one way, so he switched lines to go to the other lane. And I think that's fair. If a guy's in traffic, he might not be able to make that decision till the last minute. And he went around one of the markers. I don't know. To me, it just seemed crazy to give up a win. I don't know what his bonus structure is, but that could have cost him anywhere from 80 to 100 grand. pretty big call on the AMA's part. That's the only thing I don't like. And again, you have no consistency because I watched, I don't know how many guys run over it in the heat races. The camera would just pan over. It didn't really stop or make a big deal of it because these guys are not up in the front. But I saw a ton of guys cut that. Did they get docked a position? So anyway, we came as omens. It's nothing new to Deegs though. Always goes out track limits, especially outdoors. Yeah, but again, they don't penalize you outdoors for just kind of mowing into them. We got a caller. We're gonna take it. Hello.
What's up, Hank?
Oh, damn, that was really loud. Let me turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me turn it down. How are you, bud?
Just trying to make an entrance.
You did.
No, good, doing good. Hey, listen, the whole thing with Deegan, there's 10,000 posts on it on social media. I was reading down through some of the comments, and if you're a Deegan lover, you think it's crap. If you're a Deegan hater, you think it was great. But the one thing I found interesting, and I think there's some valid points here. How is cutting in between those markers or running over one of those markers a position penalty, yet jumping on red cross flags is not? And it's funny because a lot of people are, not necessarily funny, but interesting because a lot of people are commenting that the AMA seems to pick and choose what they want to enforce.
That's exactly right. And I think that's most people's frustration with the AMA. It's like, you can make bad calls, but at least be consistent with them. If someone jumps on a red cross and you dock a guy a position or fine him $5,000, okay, you better do that to every single person that it happens to, though. And
right.
If it's a crappy call and you're making crappy calls, you'll hear about it before long. You know what I mean? People won't put up with it. But yeah, I mean, as Dorian here in the comments says, like, they make the rules up as they go. Just like, well, this seems like I didn't like that. Let's just penalize him a position. It's like, where did that come from? A position. Yeah. You're talking about, was there like a huge advantage gained in what he did? No. Was he probably going to win that race no matter what happened? Yeah, probably. Yeah. So you're telling me you just cost him $80,000, which, okay, for him, no big deal. But you also just bumped Cole Davies up 3 points in his championship, which now kind of screwed Joe and Seth. You know what I mean? Like, right. You're affecting things in a big way with these rulings and stuff. And it's like, I think that's what people get frustrated with. It's like, be consistent, make your rules clear. There's so much gray area. It's so subjective all the time. And they just keep, I don't know, they've just got a history of making bad calls, man.
Well, and here's the thing is, like, I don't want to throw a black cloud over all their AMA because I know they've got good people there like Ezra, J-Bone. But totally. It's like, would somebody give us some kind of clarification? I mean, do you think, I don't know, maybe it's a show idea for you is to pull J-Bone and be like, hey, man, the people want to know. So get his opinion, or is that something he couldn't elaborate on?
I don't know. I think Pelletier is really the guy. Ultimately, he's making the calls. Although I'm sure before they issue that penalty, they're all getting together and going, okay, what do we think? I can't imagine one guy's just making the call, but they're going to defend their decisions and just say, we looked at it and this is what we felt. I don't know. But yeah, like this GPX here in the comments just says those 3 extra points could be the difference between $500K or not. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
It could be.
I agree. 3
points is, man, a lot of titles are decided in that many points, and you just flip-flopped it. So those are the things I don't like when you've got, if you just said, hey, $5,000, and then you take that $5,000, you donate it to the Alpine Stars medical unit, which they desperately need. Now you're doing some good. You're slapping whoever on the PP, right? So maybe they won't do it again. And the next time it's $15,000,
Yep. I agree 100%.
So,
as you know, we can come up with, we can solve all the world's problems, but it's what they want to do and what they want to listen to.
Yeah, this guy Soda Man just made a good point. Joe's gotten screwed out of 6 points and he didn't even break the rules. That ought to be, someone ought to post that and just, you're right, 100%. I mean, actually it's a bummer for him. And, at a point, you're going to start pissing
Yeah, I
Honda
agree.
off and pissing manufacturers off where they're just like, what are you guys doing? Like, what kind of clown show is this?
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the other thing too. Is it's a tidal wave effect, right? Where, throw a rock in the pond and watch the ripples and the waves affect the whole pond. So, and that's what's happened. I mean, you tried to enforce a rule on Deegan, and you cost other people in the process.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem with it. And I don't know if they don't think that through. But man, there's other ways you could still penalize a guy. And if it's subjective anyway, right? Which it is. It is. Otherwise, there would be other people penalized positions that weren't penalized. So they're looking at it in a vacuum. Okay, here's this instance, yeah, he cut the track and we better do something about it because the camera saw it.
Well, I mean, it's obviously it's got to be frustrating as a rider too, because you don't know, there's so many gray lines, and you don't know what, one little hiccup which you can get penalized for, which you won't get penalized for.
Yeah, poor Joe. I mean, he doesn't know what the hell to do. It's like every time I follow the rules, I lose points.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to wreck the show. I just thought that was interesting.
No.
I found it interesting that there was some valid points in that, those comments. So,
absolutely, and the internet will do its thing, so I don't need to belabor it too much. But it does get frustrating when it's like race after race, or instance after instance, the AMA just keeps getting it wrong, and you're just like, dude.
Yep.
Come on.
I agree 100%.
All right.
Well, hey, Penny, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish watching the show with you. But thank you so much for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Well, see you. Bye.
See you. Bye. All right. That was our good buddy down in Florida. You guys want to ever go do something really fun? He runs a sporting clay, bunch of sporting clay tournaments. There's actually one in California here next weekend. I may go check out. But look up the Dead Pair podcast. You can find those guys in any podcast site. They're kind of the biggest podcasters in that world. And he came out and did one for our sponsors, which we're going to make a regular thing out here in California. So much fun. If you've never shot skeet or, sporting clays, whatever, super fun. Okay. Okay, let's look at a couple of these. So Dorian says, back when you were racing Ping, none of this nonsense was happening. It just seems like it really wasn't, man. I don't remember there being a lot of dumb stuff like this. I don't know. Yeah, it's like we're being kind of over-regulated. I mean, back in the day, guys would smash into each other. Bradshaw and Chicken, those guys, they used to basically get in fist fights on the track, and I don't know. I don't think anything ever happened to them. The downside is, instead of Monster Energy girls and patent leather doing the little hip swing, it was Ron Crandall, this old man with a Marlboro red, white beard, looked like he was about to die of a heart attack at any minute, and he was in a black and white shirt holding the 30-second card. So things change. Okay. Anyway, Pink, get into the booth. No, I'm not going to be doing Supercross anytime soon. Maybe some other stuff though. I do really enjoy it. I just the way Feld or NBC or whoever makes those guys be so corporate, I don't think I'd enjoy it. I like to have a little bit more, just be a little bit more casual, a little more fun. I had a blast doing arena cross when I did it. Some of the Canadian stuff, I've had a really fun time doing that, but I don't want to be kind of stuffed into a goofy suit and made to speak a certain way. I mean, I'm fine being professional, but I don't know. Seems like a little bit of, they squeeze the puppy very tight. We came as Omen says, if they were consistent, there would be no issue. Kind of like how no one is super pissed Max was DQ'd at the NLS 2 race. Yeah, it's consistency for sure. And Dave Sparb said it's actually 5 points because it put Deegan between Davies and Seth. Yeah, it's a big deal, man. Like huge championship implications for that side. Maybe it won't pan out that way, but If I was Mitch, if I was Honda, I'd be pissed, you know? Anyway, they probably are. I haven't talked to him, but Hayden will always have the extra eye on him. We know this. Well, if you do, you've earned it. He has. I mean, the stuff he did with Joe, he's deserved to have eyeballs on him. He's pushed guys off the track and caused issues. So that's what happens. What's the latest on AP? Have not heard. Just keep an eye on his social media. I don't like to really give updates on injuries. I just think it's I leave that to the team and rider. They'll say what they want to say when they're ready. What's your assessment of Prado? This is from GPX. What's your assessment of Prado? I can't wait until we see him outdoors. Yeah, KTM Prado outdoors. Agreed. I think he's doing awesome. This is essentially his first year of Supercross. He did, handful of rounds last year, 2 or 3 rounds before that. One of those was a mutter. I mean, he's got very, very few reps under his belt. He's already got a podium. He's winning heat races. He's hole shotting mains. He's frustrating some guys because he's a good starter. I mean, he's hole shotted a lot, and he doesn't have the experience. So he doesn't have the speed or the racecraft, really. So he's kind of, drifting his way back to 5th, 6th, 7th. It kind of seems like where his spot is at the moment. And he's hard to pass. He's a good rider, but he doesn't know Supercross. And you can see, like, even when Roxon passed him last night, just he's been doing this so long. You just saw it coming, him swinging wide in that turn. You're like, oh, he's cutting down. And sure enough, and Prado's like, I'm going to hit the main line and there's no way he'll pass me. And then here comes Kenny up the inside. So these are just things he'll have to learn as time goes on. That's why the best thing he can do is just exactly what he's doing. I think he's doing it perfectly. Don't push. Don't try not to beat her yourself like you did in qualifying. Don't do that. Just be smart, get to all the rounds, get some experience. When guys are passing you, follow them, see what they're doing, learn from them. And he is, I promise you. And when we get outdoors, I'm just telling you, you guys, you doubters are in for it. This guy will be on the box. He has got the tracks now. He knows how we operate. He knows the tracks. You're going to see what Jorge Prado is all about when we go outside. If he's healthy, I'm just, half of me wants him to just stop racing Supercross right now so he gets healthy outdoors, but I don't think that'll happen. I think he's going to be awesome. He's going to blow people's minds, my opinion. I think you still have to, Jet's still the guy, right? And now Hunter's looking like he's the guy, and Eli will be good, and Chase will come back wanting to prove something, and Hayden's in there. There's a lot of things going on. I'm really looking forward to outdoors, but let's stick to Birmingham for now. Feld MX Sports are targeting Deegs because he won't toe the corporate line. Good for him. I don't know if they're doing that. Maybe. I don't know. Eli didn't have beast mode this weekend. No, we'll talk about that when we get to the 450 class, man. It was a bummer. Jet, when's he coming back? Crystal, I don't know. Bottom line, he hasn't said much, and I don't know if he's on the bike yet or not. Am I the only one scared for MX in the next 5 years? It's looking like it'll be a Deegan Lawrence show. I think there's guys coming through. Cole Davies is one of them. I mean, Hammaker, Shimoda on a 450 is going to be good. If you missed him at the designations, you missed it. I think Dax Bennick will be better on a 450. He's just too big. You've got some of these young kids like Vincent Way, Kay Johnson, who's a bigger kid. There's guys coming. I'm not super worried about that. I think we're going to have a window for sure where it's going to be the Lawrences versus Deegan and maybe a couple of guys. But, there's thin periods. I think McGrath won a lot of his titles when it was thin. So, anyway, we'll see. Okay. Other 250 stuff. So we talked about Deegan. We talked about the penalty. Davies got rattled, which was super weird to me. First time I've ever seen him get rattled. If you remember when he won his SMX next race at Anaheim, to be going back 2 or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, he had a battle with Gavin Towers, tooth and nail. Towers was a star kid, and he was just calm and collected and smooth and didn't show any signs of panic. And I was like, that's when I was like, oh, he's got this. Like, he's got something special. He's got the ability to just stay calm and keep his heart rate down. And he's shown that pretty much every race I've seen him in, except for last night. I've never seen him give up a lead like that and come backwards. So that was interesting. And again, I think Deegan does that to people. I'm going to say Seth and Joe for those two in this East Region Championship, and we'll look at points here in a second. Those guys have got to start winning. This penalty especially really put them into a different place where this series is going to close up. We have another East-West showdown, so that'll help. But they've got to deliver. Those guys have got to be in front of him and hopefully put some people between them because this is going to get away from him. Another thing I thought was weird in this 250 main was Kitchen. Guy gets a hole shot. The last race we had, he was on pace with Hayden. I mean, he was ripping. And he just sort of come unwound too. He just went backwards pretty fast. So that was strange to me. I don't know what happened or what was the deal. And the other thing I've got in my notes is that Joe has just got to be more aggressive. He had a shot at being on the box and turned that into a fifth just by being too nice. And I'd love Joe for being such a nice, soft-spoken, just genuine dude. But when he puts that helmet on, he's got to get a little bit more samurai, a little spicier. He could have blocked a pass that was being made on him. He just could have been a little more aggressive. I really hope he can step that up a little bit. Shout outs to Shimoda, Bennick with a good ride still. Anstey, good to see him back. He only had a short amount of time on the bike after taking his appendix. He had appendicitis, so had that pulled out. Not a minor surgery, like they open you up. It's nothing minor. So glad to see him back and healthy. Volan, Shock, Thrasher, what were your top 10? Let's see. Before we jump into 450, let's answer some questions. Davies had the whoop style totally every time. He's like the guy in the whoops. Amazing whoop speed. And I like how he called people out in the press conference. Someone said something about how we went to jumping and then to skimming. He's like, you hear that? I just lost my audio. Hello. Oh, we're back. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what happened. Something weird. Anyway, he made a comment to whoever the reporter was. He said, I'm pretty sure I skimmed every lap. He was pretty adamant about it. He didn't, somebody says Levi's got a back injury. Okay. So maybe he got some issues. Did he do it in the race or came into it? Interesting. Okay. You guys still got audio. Good. Sorry. I don't know what happened over here. We had a squirrely moment. 902 Nick. Yes. Palm is going to come in and do it. A Whiskey Throttle show. Just waiting on the timing. Hopefully later this summer. He's trying to do Mammoth, trying to do Vet World Championships in the fall. So maybe around that time. He's got his hands full at the moment, but yeah. So it was crazy to see how gassed Davies was. He definitely came off looking like he was spent. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, Deegan was flying through the whoops for sure. Looked great. So, okay, let's move to the 450 class, guys. This was, for me, I felt like it's been really, maybe Coop can come back and, maybe Kenny's got a shot and if Eli can go on a run, this is his. And it was really close. I felt like last night was really this shift of, okay, here's how the series looks now. And it kind of looked, I think it looks a lot like what we're seeing in the points. This is Hunter's championship to lose now. He's got the momentum. He's clearly in the driver's seat. And especially this was a really bad night. Can I have in my notes here? This was a bad night for Eli to have a bad night because at a point you have to stop that momentum. You've got to get Hunter kind of on his heels and a little more desperate. And he just keeps coming out and getting the starts, riding perfectly. And if there's a threat, he rides just hard enough to keep him at bay. He was masterful with Roxon. And I didn't see a mistake really all night. He was just flawless. So if he wins it, he's earned it for sure. No question. And not going to surprise me at all. But I think like a lot of people, I want to see this go down to the very end. I don't think Roxon and Webb have a shot. I think we saw Webb's hopes die last night. kind of a sad death. And while Kenny, I would say Ken Roxon rode better last night than maybe I've seen him ride ever since his arm injury. That was an incredible race, what he did. Incredible. Even his pass on Eli going into that finish was like, it looked like a video game. He ripped that rut so perfectly, scrubbed the top of it, got the back tire on the ground, and squirted over that finish line like so fast. Blew my mind. Incredible riding last night from Kenny. But at the end of the day, like I said, Hunter got him to like somewhere 3 to 5 seconds and just held him there. You know, Roxon closed. And then when he got to a point, Hunter went, okay, I need to pick it up and I'm just going to maintain this lead. Super, super pro on Hunter's part. Like it was very, very controlled. Just surgical, man, the way he did it. So it's really his to win. And Eli, it's on Eli now to come in and throw him off. So he's got to come into this next round. He's got to win. And he's got to stop letting Hunter just kind of control him, take control of the series, because he is right now. Yeah, Kenny, again, like I said, best ride I've seen out of him in a long, long time. And I will address, we put up a post with Kenny yelling at a privateer. This was not me. I don't run our Instagram page at the races, you guys. So people that are all saying, oh, you're still crusty about the old straight rhythm thing. No, I'm way over it. My partner who was there filming, Jeff, witnessed the whole thing. Mitchell Harrison hugged the inside of the turn and was rolling down the inside of the lane. Obviously, it's not ideal to have anyone in your way, but Kenny spun a quick 180 in that corner and then realized he was in his line and had to switch it. It's like, well, pick your eyes up a bit and see there's someone in front of you and he's rolling. He did the right thing. Where do you want him to go? He pulled all the way to the right and was rolling down the lane. So anyway, they came in and my partner heard Kenny just letting Mitchell Harrison have it, like over the top, letting him have it. And so then he started recording, oh, look at this guy. And so that's where that whole I think he called him Mr. Wonderful. Look, don't, I told these guys that I work with all the time, hey, don't let my dust ups I've had with people have any impact on what you guys do or what you say. That was all him. So everyone kept blaming me. And I'm like, I didn't post it. I laughed when I saw it, but I didn't post it. But anyway, and I that credit where credit's due. Like I said, that's the best I've seen Kenny ride in a long time. He was ripping. And he made a comment too in that post-race press conference about how people are always saying he fades at the end of the championships, which he does. In Supercross, he always has. And he's going to really try not to do that. And so far, so good. Just like I said, I don't know that I've ever seen Kenny. He's won some races late in the year like this before, like that really sticky, muddy Indy race where he beat, maybe it wasn't Indy, St. Louis Indy, where he beat Barsha. That was late in the season, but it was mixed with like super inconsistent results and him fading and not being good. He's been consistently good all year. And in any other circumstance, he probably would have won last night. Just Hunter was incredible. Let's see. Get some of these comments here. Somebody says, Hunter was flawless. Yep. Hunter's sprint speed early is getting good. A little sketchy, but smooths it out. I agree. I mean, I think he knows he's got to do that to stay in front of Kenny. Because Kenny is riding well. And if he gets to the front quick and takes off, it's hard to catch him unless he gets tired, which he has had a couple of those races too. But man, can't really take a chance. Crystal says, I love Jet and Hunter, but they're always an easy win, not really exciting anymore. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't blame them. They're doing their job. Eli, 30 seconds down. I would take that third. I think Eli comes back, but I think Hunter wins it. Yeah, I think, and this Dorian says, I think Eli was surprised how Kenny blew past him. Agree, I was. And I was surprised to see how far Eli fell off. It was just kind of a weird night, I think Eli wasn't meshing with the bike last night on the podium. He said he just didn't have it, but he's never blamed the bike. Yeah, I mean, look, some days you're just not feeling it. Could have been any number of things, but sometimes your bike doesn't work on a certain setup of dirt or whatever, some track. It happens. J. Coop with a 4th, another good solid ride. I think he may go to a team to be number 1. Yeah, I mean, he definitely would make a good leader at another team, but he's on a really good team. It would be tough to turn away from that and go somewhere else, but we'll see what he does. Interesting. He's definitely going to be very, very high value when his contract's up. Tomac confirmed no bike changes to excuse lack of pace in the main. Did going to the LCQ really move the performance needle? I don't think so. If anything, it's not like he's tired from the extra laps. If anything, he got to look at the track and how it was breaking down, which can be helpful going into the main event. Got a little bit extra time on the bike, and he you know what the problem with that would be is you have a bad gate pick, you get a bad start, and then that you just started your main off with in a hole. He didn't do that. He was third, pretty much 2 turns in. So there's really nothing there to affect his performance. And he did confirm that the filter got ripped off the bike. That's why he had to pull in. We were trying to figure out what the heck happened, and it did pull the filter off so he could hear it suck in straight air. And I don't think on a track with that kind of dust, I wouldn't have kept going. I think he did the right thing pulling in, going to the LCQ. Ping, do you think Jet will have his handful with Hunter when he's back? Yeah, and I'm kind of curious actually to see if Jet comes back to do some Supercross. I know you would think he would probably jump in and try to help Hunter a little bit because Hunter has no help, where they say Prado is helping Eli. He didn't help Eli last night. He held him up for a few laps. That could have been the momentum changer in that race. If Prado, and I know even Prado, the very first lap, you see when they come out of the whoops, they went right, and there's that little double, triple, double, whatever. Prado looked over. He knew it was Eli next to him, and he raced him hard for the next several laps. And in my head, I'm going, man. Now he kind of gapped him for a second. Eli made a mistake, and it took him a minute to get back up to him. But I don't know. I kind of would have said, if I was Jorge, I would have kind of let my guy go and then just try to tuck in with him. That's what I would have probably tried to do if I'm in that position. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'll just tell you this: he didn't help Eli last night. It wasn't like a full move over situation. But it'll be interesting as we get going on, because Hunter was complaining about Jorge, saying he raced him harder than he raced Eli, like let him by and then raced him hard. So I could see Jet coming back, trying to get in there and help just put another bike in between the two. But I just don't know, man. Like, he hasn't raced Supercross in 2 years now. And I know Jet's Jet, but like, that's got to affect you a little bit, right? A little bit. You'd be just a little tentative or a little, unpolished. Maybe not. I know they do a lot of laps of the track and he's amazing and all that, but I don't know. I don't know if it would be smart for him to come back unless Hunter really needs him. So we'll see what happens. Again, no updates. Those guys just go into a hole down there and don't talk to anybody. So Orlando says, in Kenny's defense, he was halfway through his hot lap when Mitchell got in his way. He should have pulled over for Kenny, but he was literally pulled over to the right side of the track. You can't pull off the track and stop, or you get penalized. You lose your fastest lap. So you can't stop. The only place you can stop is into the mechanics area. So these guys either, are on a sprint lap, or you'll see them do a sprint lap and then they kind of fart around and try to find a gap. And then as they come up to the finish turn, they go for it. They all do it. You can't be mad at a guy for doing what you're supposed to do when you're on a slow lap. If you're just cruising, pull to the edge of the track. Kenny just didn't see that he was there somehow. And so when he spun that turn really tight, Mitchell was right in front of him, but it's like he's where he's supposed to be, dude. So I don't know how even get frustrated, but like to pull him over after the practice and berate him. It's like, I don't know. I wasn't there. To Jeff, it seemed out of line. So I'm not picking sides. Again, I don't really care, one way or the other. Do we see Webb move on? Perhaps pastures new may give him a new lease on life. I think it wouldn't shock me to hear that he's going to, hang it up, do something. He bought that track back east, 3-time champ. I think he's accomplished more than enough. He's probably dialed with money. So it wouldn't surprise me, but like, would also would not surprise me to see him sign a deal to do World Supercross, and maybe, um, handful of other rounds here and there or something. But I don't know. Interesting to see. He's definitely on that bubble. I think this end of this year. Think about it. Like what's Jason Anderson going to do? Whether what happened really happened, or some watered down version of that, in the court of public opinion, he's kind of persona non grata right now. And I don't know who would pick him up. Maybe somebody would. But you've got Eli kind of at the end. If he doesn't win this title, does he keep going? Maybe. He does like that KTM a lot, but he's also a legend. He doesn't need to do anything else. So he's got all these kids now. Maybe he just stays home. Maybe he's like, I want to focus on my family. I could see that too. So it's going to be a very interesting year, is my point at the end of it, to see who keeps going and who goes, all right, I'm good. And a lot of these guys like Kenny, even though they're older, they're beating people. They're beating all the young guys. They're beating the guys like the Stewarts and the Nichols and the Marchbanks, the Smiths, all these younger guys, the Justin Coopers. They still can't beat these old guys. So if I was them, I'd keep going too. Like, why not? I'm on the box every single weekend. I'm fast enough to win. Like, why would you quit? So I don't think we see Kenny quit for sure. In fact, I've heard he's already negotiating another deal with HEP. So anyway, there's that. I talked about EP or ET, just a bad night to have a bad night. He's got to come back firing at this next one. No update on AP. I hope he's okay. I didn't see the crash. They didn't catch it. So I want to finish this thought about Jorge. Like I said, he didn't help ET last night. He definitely boogered him up a little bit early in that race. And I think we've hit a point in the points, and we'll cover the points here in a second, but we've gotten to a point where Jorge is going to have to start helping. It's going to be drama, and the Honda guys will be pissed and whatever. But I'm not saying he has to take Hunter out, but you got to start riding him a wide bike and pushing him a little wide in a turn here. They're like, Eli needs some help. And this stuff happens. You like it or not. I don't like it. I don't like team tactics, but it's just part of it. At this level, it's just part of it. If Jorge can affect the points here or there by a couple of points, 3 points, we're down to that point where it's all of them matter. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Jorge start getting in the way a bit now. Do we see? So we got that. Jet rides the wave into the win. No real action to see. I do appreciate his talent. I just like to see competition. Yeah, I mean, we all want to see a battle, 5-way battle to the finish. When Jet is just greasing these guys and he's gone, just appreciate it, because his career will be over like that. And we're going to be looking back on, wow, how good was he? And the next generation of kids will be like, man, I wish I could have seen him ride. Just like I feel lucky to have been able to watch Bale ride, right? And I kind of missed, I never saw David Bailey race in person. Would have loved to have seen that. He's one of these guys that's just a different level. And what a privilege just to watch him. I would just say, appreciate it. I know you don't want to see him run away, but go to a tricky technical section of the track and watch him pick it apart. And crazy. Yeah, it is crazy how the next gen hasn't taken the top spots other than Lawrence's. Totally. It's kind of odd that we've got this old guard that just can't be. I don't know. There's a little bit of Stewart's just had injuries. Prado's still too green. Justin Cooper, I feel like, is one of these guys that should be getting wins, and for whatever reason, he's just missing a little something. But yeah, we're at that point. There should be a sort of a turnover, a changing of the guard, and it's not happening outside of the Lawrence boys. But like I said, we got Deegan coming. I think we'll have Davies coming shortly after that. You're going to start to see Shimoda coming, Kitchen coming. We'll see some guys jump in and hopefully give them some competition. But for now, that's definitely a deal. What else we got here? Any word on Chase? So I spoke with, how do I want to say this? Somebody close to the camp, close to the team, close to Chase. And there's been just a battle with setup. And this has nothing to do with Kawasaki. This goes back years. He likes his bike to be very tall in the rear for some reason. So now when we start to think about the front end push, some of this starts to make a little more sense. Or front end tuck, right? Tuck the front. That's his. I mean, if that's it, if ever we all had a slogan, that would be his. Tuck the front. He constantly he likes the way that feels like an acceleration, but then there's some other things where obviously if the bike is too high in the rear, it's way too sensitive up front, and it overpowers what the fork can do. And anyway, the bike doesn't handle right. So he, for some reason, likes the way that feels. And so, like then he'll ride another bike and go, oh, this one's I like the feel of this. So they'll build him something like that. And he'll go, yeah, okay, I just want the back end up. And he raises the back end up again. And they're like, hold on, you said you really liked this. Well, this is the back end either level or lower than what you'd normally like. And now the first thing you do when you get on it is raise the back end up. It's like, this is a battle that's been going on and on and on. And that's still the issue on setup. And some of the motor stuff, he's looking for the right combo and the right feel, and they'll get there. He's not looking for more power. Like Jorge always said, I need more power. Give me more. That's not what Chase is looking for. More feel, more of the way it delivers. So they'll get there. I don't know what someone has to do. And this person was like really frustrated because they're like, man, he knows this. We've told him this, like we've shown it, flushed it out in testing. And then he goes right back and, brings the back of the bike up, and round and around a circle, we have the same problem. So, just for Chase's sake, because he has moved around so much, I just really want him to get this bike figured out, and this, whatever the little issues are with getting him comfortable. And I want him to be successful there at Cali. I want that so bad, because if this goes sideways and he can't get this right this year, and they're going into next year and it's not looking good, like it'll be up another Prado situation. He's not going to stay. If he can't ride the bike, he's not comfortable, he's going to go somewhere else. Where does he go though? Now you're looking at either Suzuki, Triumph, Ducati, Beta. I don't know. Like, where are you going? So I just hope he gets it figured out. I'm confident that he will, kind of, but it's really kind of up to him, as the way I've been told. It's like, he knows what we need to do. He's just got to be willing to do it. So I've just got my fingers crossed that at least for outdoors, they find a setting, he gets happy and comes back and is, Chase Sexton. He's a missile. He's a lot of times the fastest guy on the track. So I hope he gets back to that. But so far it's been just the worst case scenario for those guys. And I was happy to see Garrett Marchbanks inside the top 10. 10th, right? We had Cooper 4th, Stewart 5th, Webb, Prado, Nichols. Shout out to Colt. Great ride for old Colt 45 there. Jordan Smith in 9th. Good job for those guys. I know just they're looking for some kind of building blocks for that Triumph 450 program. And so stoked to see him doing well and just, putting in solid results. And then Garrett in the top 10. Happy for those guys. Let's look at the points real quick. 250 West. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Deegan's got like a 42-point lead on Anstey, 47 on Kitchen. I mean, it's crazy. So unless he gets deported, which he wouldn't, he is going to wrap this thing up pretty quick. The East, much tighter situation. You've got Cole Davies sitting there at 89, Hammaker at 83, so 6 down. Joe Shimoda at 80, so he's 9 points down. And then it goes to Bennick, who's 18, Pierce, who's 26. Bummer for Pierce Brown. I hope he's okay too. He kind of walked off, and I checked his social stuff, no updates. He was, I think, okay walking off, but I know no update on what he did. They didn't show that crash either. But kind of grenaded his championship hopes, which was a bummer. He came out firing so hard. And so here, really, it's already boiled down to a 3-man battle over here. Cole's in the driver's seat, and you got Seth and Joe, both capable of beating him. Seth was, ripping, could have easily won that race if it had played out differently, but they have got to get up there and stop Cole Davies, because that little bump to first definitely didn't help. And Cole's a savage. So anyway, we'll see if that tightens up at all. And then looking at the 450 class, Hunter now at 221, so 9 over Tomac. And, I think you get to where like anything over 10, as we start winding down in the last 4 or 5 rounds, starts to get to be you're just in a bad place. You've put yourself into a spot where you got to hope for a lot of things. And I know Eli wants to just have this thing in his hands, at least going into the final round, going, if I win, I win, which of course we all want to see, right? So he's got to chip away at this. If he can win the next 3 or 4, he's still not there, right? So that's what I'm saying. We're getting to a place where, or 3-point difference between first and second. So if he wins 3, they're tied. He wins 4, he's taking the lead back, assuming Hunter gets second every time. 4 in a row is a lot. It's a big ask. So, and again, anything can happen. Hunter hasn't had a bad round all year. He hasn't had a first turn crash that I know of in a main. He hasn't really had anything go wrong. He's been so unbelievably consistent and then stealing wins and streaks when he can get them. And that's the formula to win a title. It's just been proven that's the formula to win a title. It's hard to do, but that's the way you do it. So, and then Kenny's in third. He's 31 points down. And I only say these guys are kind of cooked because even if Hunter, God forbid, something happens, Eli Tomac had that championship wrapped up a couple years ago and decided to grenade his Achilles, handed that championship off to Chase, I believe, actually. That could happen to Hunter, but even if it does, you've got Eli, who's 20 points ahead of Roxon still, so he could just cruise it in for the win. So like you've got 2 guys you have to hope have a bunch of bad luck, and I just don't see that happening. So best Kenny can hope for is just steal some wins here as the season goes on, prove to people he doesn't fade out at the end of these championships, which so far he's done, and then that's about it. Cooper Webb's 4th, Justin Cooper 5th, Savachi, hope he heals up and gets back quick. He's still sitting 6th. Sexton in 7th, Malcolm in 8th, Jorge 9th, and Aaron Plessinger in 10th in the standings there. So that's our championship point standings. Do you think Jet rides on till his 30s, or is he done at 27, 28? I think a lot of that will depend on the next 8 years. These guys who can get through their career largely injury-free, and he's starting to flirt with not being that guy. One ACL is not the end of the world, but now he's got an ACL and a pretty complex ankle fracture. If those are the only 2 things you had and he could go the next 8 years injury-free, then he might keep going. I think a lot of it is just physically, is your body hammered, which a lot of time is guys can barely get out of bed. And then the other side is just the mental part of it. Is he burn out? Is he having fun going to the races? It kind of seems like both of those boys don't really enjoy it. They put the smile on and put the hat on and say the right things, but they won't engage really in anything socially. They won't engage anything that isn't sponsor related. I don't know. It's tough. Those guys are it's just hard that they don't engage more. And their thing as well, people are mean on social media. It's like, well, yeah, they are. I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you. If that crushes you, you're going to have a hard time. I hear Cannondale's going to make an offer Chase can't refuse. I think he can refuse it. Crystal says Deegan will definitely make the 450s interesting. I'm looking forward to Chase riding again. Yeah, I know. I'm going to pull some guys in and do a national preview show, and that's going to be a good one because there's so many variables. Assuming everybody gets healthy and returns. Yeah, Kenny rode great. Still looking great halfway through. G Moore says that for sure. For sure. You'd think the guy would figure out he's been through half the manufacturers and none of the bikes have suited him. That's redacted Deegan talking about Chase. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that. It would suck if Jet left early due to injury, especially being so good at riding. Yeah, I know. I think he definitely sticks it around till 30, but again, a lot of that just depends. You know what I mean? Hunter has been off podium once with a 4th. Dungey 2.0 in the making. That's exactly right. He is a lot like Ryan Dungey. Just, fit, doesn't get tired, doesn't make mistakes, just keeps churning out the laps. Yeah. He's impressive. So that's all the notes I have, guys. Any other questions we can answer in the chat here? Fire them up now or forever hold your peace. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Just nice to chat with you guys, see what you guys think of stuff. I think we get to this point. You guys get to this point in the season and kind of like, all right, I'm ready for nationals. As soon as the championships start to kind of go, all right, here's what's going to happen, and it loses a lot of its luster, I think, to a lot of people. This 450 chase has been keeping it interesting because it was so close, but like I said, we're drifting into this. Let's say Hunter wins like the next two. He's going to get to a place where he doesn't need to beat Eli. He can just cruise it in, just take seconds. Ricky used to do that all the time. And Reed would get mad because he's like, you're just backing your way into these championships. And he's like, well, I got a points lead. I can do it. Ricky was really good at managing that. Sure seems like Hunter's, doing the same thing or setting himself up to do that. So big thank you to Ethan over here for setting everything up. Mission accomplished. I think you're wrong about Jet and Hunter having fun. If you watch their vlog, you'll see how chill they are. Maybe you're right, man. Like, the thing is that we don't really get to see them. They'll only do their stuff. They won't engage with any other media. They get mad at if we show them at the track in certain lights, like wiping mud off their face. They get real mad about that. I just wish they were more open with people and fans and media so we could get to know them. It's like we don't, okay, watch their vlog, I guess, but that's all. I don't know. It just seems kind of, when it's your vlog, you can, and this is how they want it. They want to be able to just cut and splice and make it look just perfectly edited. This is what we want to show. Instead of like, let us see who you guys are, GPX, ping any thoughts on getting Dave Thorpe on the Whiskey Throttle show? He's one of the last left of the 500s, 80s legends in Europe, as no Gabors, Jobé, and Malherbe. I know. I actually had texted back and forth with Dave when I was over at Farley Castle last time. We couldn't make it work. We did do an interview over there with another world champion, but it was tough to understand. His accent was so thick, most people couldn't even follow along. I will follow up on that because I really would love to have Thorpe on the show, and we've got the ability now to do Whiskey Throttle shows virtually. A good format that actually looks okay. So I'll reach out to him and work on that. We came, as Omen says, do you think Jet will ever catch RC or MC in records? I think that he's capable. I think he could do, when you look at now how close Eli is. And I would have never said Eli was like a Supercross specialist. Would you guys? I mean, I almost picture like the Nationals being more his thing, just heavy-handed on the throttle and get it. Eli's like, he can see 72. It's not that far in front of him. And so if you take a guy like Jet, who's just, I don't think he's better at one or the other. He's so good at both. It's certainly a possibility. But the thing is, Jeremy never missed seasons. You know what I mean? He started in 93 and he went to 01 and he never missed a season. I mean, he went past 01, but 01 was kind of when he was done winning. So I would say it isn't too late, but Jet's got to go the next 8 years. Let's say he goes to 30. He can't have any more injuries and he miss a season. And he's got to knock out, I don't know where he's at in wins. I have to do the math, but 6, 7, 8, 9 wins each year. I mean, it's a tall ask, especially when you got like a Hayden Deegan. Your brother's no slouch now, and others will come along. So it's doable, but it'll take luck. Take some luck for sure. Yeah, GPX says, until you see Jet ride in person, you don't realize how special he is. The dude just floats. It's true. Even TV, it just doesn't do him justice. He's just magical on the bike. I don't know. I sound like a glazer now or whatever, but he's incredible. And so I tell people, don't get mad when he's winning. Don't like get frustrated. Just like take it in, man. Really go watch him. Find a really tricky section where everyone's feet off the pegs and that dude comes through and looks like a gear taller, balls of his feet. Doesn't even look like he's trying. It's incredible. Anyway, okay, that's enough. Hyping up Jet. He does enough of that on his own with his riding. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you're not a Whiskey Throttle Club member, whiskeythrottleclub.com, sign it up. All kinds of cool stuff. We've got some more. We're going to be shooting some more hang time videos next week, which is our free ride. videos. Those are all going to be on there. The Gear Up podcast is there. I've got another electronic ping coming out next week. So lots of stuff going on. And like I said, those training videos on there are amazing. You guys will dig them. I still go back and watch them. So they're really good. A couple more questions here. I just saw them down. What do you think about them punishing Evan Ferry and taking away Deegan? I didn't hear what they did to Ferry. Did they do the same thing? Just drop him a position or something? What was the penalty? And to me, it's like, look, it's the last lap of the LCQ. Don't turn this into, touch football. I don't know. Yeah, it was a bad move. They both went down, but like, give him a warning. He's a kid. He I don't know. To me, it seemed like a lot. AMA license points. Yeah. Anyway, I kind of like to see a kid go for it, it's for the main event, I don't know, last spot. I think you, on that last lap, you kind of get a little bit extra grace, in my opinion. And so that's good for the fans. Nobody got hurt. He didn't T-bone him. He just went in a little hot, Thoughts on MXGP ping? Lucas is quite special. Super special. That dude was so fun to watch at the Nations. And I had heard he and his brother are both coming over here at one point. They wanted to, or we're talking about it. I don't know if that's still in the mix, but I'll tell you this. I was really blown away with Honda's showing at the opening round. I don't know what happened to Lucas there. I've just seen highlights, but I did not expect Vial to be that fast. And they're both riding this 27 Honda version, right? I'm going over next month to Japan to ride this thing. And when they first invited us, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll be cool. And now I see this bike just destroying it, the opening round there anyway. And I'm a little more excited. So we'll see. I'm anxious to see what's new. We're going to go through the HRC factory. They're going to show us the assembly line. It'll actually be some really neat stuff. I'm going to try to cover that in a vlog. So if you guys are following our social, you'll be able to see it. What they'll show us. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to film inside HRC and some of the other spots, but we'll show you what we can. Should be a lot of fun. MXGP highlights are great. If you guys aren't following MXGP, man, it's like a whole other world of racing that we don't get to. It's not really promoted over here unless you're following it, but it's great racing, and those guys rip. I mean, rip. So follow them. I'm holding Hayden to a higher standards now. He's been training on a 450. I got a lot of hate on IG last night. I'm a big fan. So, okay. I'm not sure what you're saying there. David, I say JMB was the last great 500 rider. What do you say? Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah, Wardy, he kind of went a little bit longer than Wardy, but I would have said RJ and Wardy, and yeah, I guess JMB probably came after them even, kept going until it was really done. 93, I think, right? So, yeah, JMB, he was another guy. Like I said, I was glad I got to watch him race. If you never saw that guy, go watch 92 Tampa. I tell people this all the time. You want to see how gnarly Jean-Michel Bell was. Tampa 92 450 or 250 main event, but premier class. Epic race. That was the best season of racing. I'll prove me wrong. The 1992 Supercross series was the best year of racing our sport's ever seen. Go back and watch these battles. I think Atlanta that year, some of the nationals, it was just a dogfight, man. There was 8 or 9 guys up front. I mean, it was such a fight, such a cool year. Yeah, so I don't disagree with you about JMB, for sure. The last great 500 rider. Prado and Supercross looks so good. I agree. He's doing exactly his thing that he needs to be doing. We talked about that earlier. All right, guys, I don't want to drag this out here. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Whiskey Throttle Club, go sign up if you're not a member. We give you this phone number too when you become a member, and we want to hear from you guys. So, let's do it. TCB, NCB, LCB. I met you back at the first Dungy Foundation at Fox Raceway when you had your 92, 94 Sierra 125 you just restored, and you signed a shirt for me and my 2 young boys. You were so cool and down to earth. Oh, appreciate it, man. Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate the nice words there. We're trying to do things our way and have some fun. So, but I do like talking to you guys. I mean, I'm fine reading stuff on here, but man, sign up, get a membership. It's $5 a month. You can call in and I want to chat with you guys. So if you can afford it, maybe skip a Starbucks once a month and you'll have more than enough money to sign up and save money with our discount codes. Okay. Thanks guys. As always, this was fun. We'll be back next Sunday. See you here.